All right, y'all. So I know that last time we spoke, y'all went to go see a house. We were supposed to communicate with a realtor. We've been in contact since then. It's been a couple weeks now. So first off, what did y'all learn after y'all was walking through that house?
A lot of work.
Yeah,
a lot of work.
So, in your opinion, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing, right? Why? Why is it a good thing?
Because it's not going to be easy. We should have to work for what we want.
That's what. Well, I mean, you kind of want
to. Going to go up.
That's all. But that's perspective. That's perspective, Raven. And really, you want to. That's not where I was going with it, but I'm gonna say something about that. You really want your work to be as easy as possible and make the most amount of money, right? That's what you want to do. But if the house needs a lot of work, real estate related, why is that a good thing? I'm teaching you.
Market value goes up.
Say that again.
Market value goes up.
That's market value can go up. Why?
Because you're putting in remodelization.
Say that again.
Because you're remodelizing it.
Exactly. So when a house needs work, I explained to y'all, I think I explained this to y'all before, but you're looking for distress, right? So you got physical distress and financial distress, right? So distress meaning there's a problem with the property, whether it's a financial problem with the seller or the house, or it's a physical problem with the seller or the house. And when there's a problem, you can solve a problem and be able to create a profit from the problem, right? So the house needed a lot of work. Why is that a good thing?
Is it like the more money we put into fixing, the more money we get out in the profits?
That's definitely. So here's the deal when it comes to buying properties that need a lot of work. Those are the deals. So you got to remember, you're not buying houses. You're buying deals, right? You're not looking for houses. You're looking for deals. So if you saw a car, who's into cars? I know somebody here is into cars. Nobody likes cars?
A little bit.
All right. So who's into car restoration?
I mean, yeah. Like old cars,
I like old cars. Like me personally, I like classic cars.
Yeah.
And I like seeing them restored, right? Or restoring them. Right. So if I saw a car that needed a lot of work, I'm not gonna pay the same amount that I would pay for a car that didn't need a lot of work. That makes sense? Right. So I'm going to pay less for the car that needs a lot of work, bring it back up to value and make a profit for my time. You understand? So when a house needs a lot of work, you can get those houses a lot cheaper than you can get houses that don't need any work. So when you walk into a house and you see that the house needs a lot of work, you should automatically be thinking dollar signs. This is money in my pocket right here. Plus, the houses that need a lot of work, they don't have the same buyers that the houses that don't need a lot of work have. You understand that? Mm-hmm. So if a house doesn't need a lot of work, a buyer can go to a bank and get a loan because the house is in tip-top shape. You can do that on houses that don't need a lot of work. I mean, that do need a lot of work as well, but most people don't want to take the time to fix up a house. An investor looks at a house that needs work because most people, and they'll buy that house because most people are not going to want to buy that house. So when y'all walked into that house the other day, how did y'all feel?
Felt comfortable.
You felt comfortable?
I felt it went by smooth.
Nah, that was different.
Comfortable.
You felt uncomfortable, right? And that's how you as a beginning real estate investor, most beginning real estate investors look at houses, especially the ones that need a lot of work, and they say, this is a piece of junk. I don't want to, why am I even looking at this house? But in reality, those are the money bags right there. All right. So you got to just shift your thinking. If you're looking at a house for yourself, then yeah, you probably not. Me, when I bought my house right now, I bought it with $100,000 in equity in the house because I looked for a problem when I bought the house. The house didn't need any work when I bought it, right? I'm the second owner of this house. It was built in 2006. It didn't need any, I put work into it since I bought it. But the point is I looked for a problem. The problem with this house is, I've been here for 8 years, second owner. How many years is that? 2006 to now, 2022. That's what, 15 years?
Yeah.
So I owned it now for 7. It's going to be 8 years. And the previous owner who built the house had it for 6. Right. So when I bought it, they were getting a divorce and just wanted to get rid of the house. So what kind of problem is a divorce?
They got a
hold up.
They got is it physical or financial?
Financial.
They had a financial problem. I came around and I solved the financial problem by purchasing their biggest asset in their portfolio, which is the house, and it paid off, any debts that they had. So I paid $100,000 less, and since then my house doubled in value. I got a whole bunch of equity in my house, right? But the whole point is I solved the problem and was able to get a deal because I solved the problem. You understand? If I'm losing, you just tell me. But I want to get your head. So if you notice, I sent you to a house that needed a whole lot of work. Why was that a good thing? This is the third time I'm asking you the same question in a different way, though.
We're going to solve the problem. And
what's the problem? What's the problem you solving?
It needs work, and nobody's going to buy it because it needs work.
It's not that nobody's going to buy it. It's just most people are not looking at that type of house. Mm-hmm. Most people. So you decrease the competition that way. You understand?
Okay.
Now, investors are looking at that house, which leads me to another question. Why especially in this market, why is that house not selling? I already know the answer, but why do you think?
Because he had the price too high.
Price is too high. That's the answer. So it's too aggressive, right? So y'all saw comps based on the comps that the comparable sales that y'all sent over to me. What did they say the house was worth? Right around. Anybody look at the comparable sales, the CMA?
I didn't get to send it to them. I only got to send it to you.
So what did you see?
They that most of the other houses were in 100,000, like 130,000, I believe.
$130,000, right? So what's the asking price for this one?
54,000, I believe.
So now looking at that house, you got an asking price of everybody went to see that house together, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So I want y'all to look at several houses, probably 5 to 10 more houses together, so y'all can all get a feel for it. But after that, everybody's not gonna have to go. We're gonna structure that. But now you got $55,000 and you got $120,000, right? So if I fix this house up today, right now, and it was in tip-top shape, you told me that the house would be worth $120,000, right? Mm-hmm. That's if it was in livable shape. It was it was like brand new all over again. They are asking $55,000. Why is that too high?
Because you can't even live in it.
Say that again.
I'll let Raven go.
I was just say by the time we buy the property and put the work into it, we wouldn't even be able to make that much of a profit back.
Exactly. So now we have to use our brain and say, okay, is this worth the $55,000? Or should I offer less money? Which is exactly where I'm going with it. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's easy. You see where I'm going with this? This is easy. If y'all do this, and I'm gonna show you how to make an offer today, and I'm gonna show you how to find your buyer today, because I'm your buyer. But even if the buyer wasn't me, I still like we'll talk about that. I don't want to confuse y'all, but we'll talk about that on another episode where I want y'all to find off market deals, like not listed with a realtor, and then be able to take those deals and turn them into profits. But so we just established we have a value of what the house is worth, and I got those comps from a realtor who showed y'all the house. We also established that the asking price is $55,000. So that leaves us with 55, that's 45,000, but about $65,000 if you do the difference between 120 and the 55 and the 120, right? So you got $65,000 to put into the house. Now, based off of what y'all saw, now y'all not experts at evaluating houses. Based on what you saw, how much work do you think that house needs? And this is without you being an expert.
I think we all said about like 40,000.
40,000?
Yeah, 40 or 50.
Now, when I remember speaking to y'all the last time, I kind of evaluated the house without even being in the house. So y'all had a better look at it than I did. What did I say the house was worth? I mean, the amount of work was needed.
I think you said about 40, 50.
I think
40.
I think you did say 40.
So I was right in the same ballpark as y'all. So now to verify those numbers, because y'all are still beginners, until you do enough of these deals and you know how to look at a house the right way, I need y'all to get a contractor's estimate on this house. So that's why I told you, I said, reach out to 3 contractors, whether you know them or you don't, walk them through the house and just say, look, I'm trying to get this house in tip-top shape. New kitchens, new baths, new flooring, paint, carpet, new roof, new windows, everything. How much is this going to cost? So if you had to restore the entire property and modernize it, how much is it going to cost to do that? So that's the next step that we need to take right now, because then I can go ahead and make an offer, and I'm going to tell you what that's going to be. So if we could verify that the house needs $40,000 to $50,000 in work, we're at 65. Everybody write down this formula real quick. Let me know once y'all ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
So
ready.
You're going to take, they call it the after repaired value of a property, right? ARV. After repaired value. So it is exactly what it says. After repaired value. So what is the property worth after all the repairs are done? That's an easy concept to understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
All that is the comp amount that you get from the realtor from Tip Top Shapes that sold in the area. So that realtor sent you comps for $120,000 to $130,000. Those are houses that sold and they were in tip top shape. Agreed? Everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
So that's your ARV. Whenever you're making an offer, you're going to multiply that number by 70%. So do times 0.70. And you're going to equal what they call the maximum allowable offer. So who has a calculator?
I'm on my phone.
It should be 96,000. I already know it. But who has a calculator? I want you to run these numbers real quick. Everybody should pull out their calculator.
Okay. Okay, we'll get to more. Okay, got it.
All right, so look, do 120 times 0.70. And what did you come up with?
84.
84.
84? I said 96. I was off. So times 0.76. Oh, my bad. I'm thinking 80 cents on a dollar, but it's 70 cents on a dollar. That's why it was 0.96. So times 0.70 is 84,000. So that means you can't go above $84,000. So that's your maximum allowable offer. But now guess what you have to do? You got to subtract the repairs off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So subtract what you think the repairs are. So what did we say? $40,000?
So now we was with 44.
So where are you at now?
44,000.
44,000, right? Now, if you were keeping this house, that's what you can pay for that house. You can't pay more than that. And I would even cushion it. I would give yourself a little bump and probably offer 40. Always start less when you're negotiating, right? So you got 55,000 automatically. They're overpriced, right?
Yeah.
44 to 55 is $11,000 overpriced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
So now you have to take your profit. If you're going to wholesale this, right? Typically, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot, but I try to make at least $10,000 and I start off with at least 10 grand on a wholesale profit. In my area, I'm averaging around $20,000 on a wholesale flip. And on a rehab, we're averaging between 60 and 70, right? The difference between wholesaling and rehabbing is wholesaling, I'm just selling the contract and I don't have to do any of the work. Rehabbing, I'm buying a house, fixing it up, making payments, dealing with contractors, all this other stuff, but I'm making more money, right? So what I want you to do is offer her $30,000. Now, why do you think I started off at 30,000?
Is that a cash offer?
That's a cash offer, right? That's number one. But why else? I just explained everything to you. What were you going to say?
To start off lower, and if they want to go like a little bit higher, they go
exactly.
a little higher. But
that's the rule of negotiation. Start off lower, right? All they could do is tell you no, right? So so whenever you make an offer, you follow that same exact formula all the time. Even if you buying it for yourself, always add a wholesale profit in there for you. You understand what I'm saying? Because then you get the lower you get remember, you're solving a problem. The house needs a lot of work. And what's another problem that this place has? How much buyer traffic do you think they have?
The lady said
not a lot.
Zero. Well, you know how I know that? It's been on the market forever. Yeah. So that tells me, number one, it's overpriced. It needs a lot of work. Nobody's interested in the house. Y'all already said the area was good. So all signs lead to that house just being overpriced. No buyers interested. So they're willing to entertain any offers. So you start off even lower. You understand? I would, and just thinking about all this, I would probably offer them $25,000.
Do you think they would go for that?
It don't matter if they would go for it. Who cares? Again, there's nobody interested in the house. Yeah. So you might as well go lower. Start lower. Yeah. What's the worst they could tell you? What did I say?
No.
They tell you no. So that's a $30,000 difference in what they're asking. But so what? I guarantee you, though, if they're serious, they're going to come off of that 55. You might end up at $35,000. You start off at 25, you might end up at 35 anyway. You understand? Mm-hmm. So you're going to do, again, whenever you're making an offer, you're going to do your after repaired value times 0.70. That's going and that's going to equal the top amount that you could pay if the house was in tip-top shape.
Maximum allowable offer.
Maximum allowable offer. You're going to subtract the repairs off of that and then subtract how much your wholesale fee is going to be. Typically, I try to make 10% of the after repaired value just to keep it simple for you. But I'm experienced. I feel out the deal. I could kind of say, okay, I want to make 20 grand on this one. I'll take 5 grand on that one, which is almost never. Right. But the whole point is if I could, make a 10% profit spread on this house of the after repaired value. So in this case, it would be $12,000. Then I'm pretty okay with that. You understand? Mm-hmm. But there's houses that were $50,000 houses I made 30 grand on. You understand? So it's all on how you negotiate. So today, there's 2 things. I want y'all to, before you make that offer, we already know what we're offering, right? It's probably even going to be lower than that because you might get a contract and say it needs $70,000 in work, right? I need y'all like immediately within the next 2 days, try to get at least 2 to 3 contractors in a house. Don't commit to anybody, but just say, look, I got a buyer. He's out of state. He wants you to look at the house, right? Tell him the truth and be like, we want a new roof, new windows. You feel like it needs a new roof?
Oh yeah.
You feel like it needs new windows?
Yeah.
Some of them, yeah.
Anything structurally wrong with the house, like the foundation?
On the side of the house, it's like ripped up in the back. And it's like bricks holding it up. The one.
Yeah, I got some pictures.
They have.
See,
Yeah, we have pictures.
we need to solve the major issues. Is the house even worth? Only way to figure out if the house is even worth buying is to get a contractor's estimate at this point. Because if the house is falling down, if it's going to crumble, then really I'm going to pay for the land. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we need to get a contractor's estimate before Wednesday, right? Mm-hmm. And once we confirm a number with 3 different contractors, we want to see what ballpark all 3 of them are in. Then we're going to make a solid offer and we're going to use that same exact formula. All right. So that's why I told you until you get the hang of looking at a house and knowing how much stuff costs, you got to be able to use it, add a contractor to your team. Okay. So, and now you know how to make an offer on a house and get it at a deep discount. So imagine buying a $120,000 house for 30 grand. That's essentially what we're doing. But you see, we're not just saying, okay, I want to get this house at a discount. It's calculated, it's formulated in a way to where it makes sense. So even if you explain this to the seller, if you're sitting down talking to a seller, hey, I would love to pay you $120,000 for your house, Mr. Seller, but the $120,000 is what other houses in the area that are completely renovated, completely fixed up. That's what those houses are going for. As you can see, this house needs, $50,000 in work. Unfortunately, I can't pay the same amount for this house that I would pay for the house across the street that doesn't need any work. So with that being said, it's going to take time for me to get this house renovated. It's going to cost fees. I'm going to have to make monthly payments, things like that. So you can see where all of this stuff is adding up. That's where I came in with this number right here. And plus, obviously, we don't work for free, Mr. Seller. We want to help you out. We want to be as fair as possible to you, but we don't work for free. We're not this is not a charity business. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hypothetical situation. This is not a charity. We work for a profit. And in order for us to stay in business, we have to make a profit. So this is how we came up with this offer right here. That's just a rebuttal reply. You understand? You know what a rebuttal is? It's basically a reply to feedback from a seller, basically. That's what a rebuttal is. So if the seller says, well, the house across the street sold for $120,000, how you only offering me 30? That's what I would say, something like that. But I'm a master at sales, and that's what real estate investing is sales, whether you like it or not. So you just got to be a master at sales to be able to do this. But that's how you make offers. So I taught you, and we're going to go over that formula a lot. Every single time we have to make offers. And really, we want to be making, 100 offers a week. You know, that's really what we want to be doing. I want to get you to a point where you don't even have to look at a house. I didn't look at that house, right? I was able to tell how much work the house needed through pictures and then say, okay, this is how much I would pay for that house, right? So I want to get you to that point, but first let's take baby steps and let's just get you comfortable looking at houses, those types of houses, right? And then get you comfortable making offers. Because I guarantee you make 20 offers, 30 offers a week, you're going to get deals every single week, right? So this is just offer number one. So who can explain to me the steps that we need to take? Number one, to find the deals to making an offer. What's the steps that you guys have taken already?
We've taken already.
What was the first thing you
found
did?
the lead.
Go ahead, John.
We found we didn't find the lead first. Yeah, we did.
You found the area, right? But if you were starting in a new area, you would find a new area. You have your area now. So what did you do first after you found the area?
We looked up the zip codes, which one was sold.
You found the deals, right? So you found deals. What types of deals are you looking for? There's two types, remember.
Distressed and financially distressed and physically distressed.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're looking for problems, financial and physical distress properties. We're gonna get to physical distress and financial distress in just a second. So you found the area. You found problem properties in the area. Distress is a problem. We saw the house. Now we're running a contractor through, and then we're gonna make an offer. You understand? And you're gonna rinse and repeat the same exact thing over and over and over again for as long as you're investing in real estate, until you make millions of dollars and you say, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, or I want to go bigger, or whatever the case may be. Right now, once you start stepping into apartments, it changes slightly, but we'll worry about that when you're ready for that. For right now, that's the formula. Find the deals. Look at the houses, find the deals, run the comps so you know how much the house is worth. Look at the house so you know how much the house needs and work. And then you're simply going to make an offer, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now let's talk about what we're going to do with the house. And then I'm going to get into some a financial distress situation, and we'll call it a day. So here's why I want you to start at 30. So if you start at 30 and they accept 30, I just told you I'm willing to pay $44,000 for that house based off of me not knowing what the contract is going to come back at. So if the contractor comes at a little bit more, I'm going to have to shave a little bit off for that. And your offer is going to go lower to them. You understand? So if a contractor comes in, so we're all thinking 40. If a contractor comes in at 50, what's our new offer?
20.
15 to 20,000, right? You understand how that works?
Yeah.
So you building your profit right into it. That's how you make money doing it. So I just told you I'm willing to pay you, 44,000. If the contractor comes in at higher, let's say 50, I'll pay 34,000 because there's a $10,000 difference. If you get it for, let's say 20,000, how much money are you making?
If we get it at 20,
if you get it at 20,
we're on this 44, we're making 22.
Well, if you just
not plus the profit.
If I just told you I'm willing to pay 34 and you get it at 20, how much money are you making?
$14 or $14,000.
Yeah.
If you can't get it lower than 20 and you got to go up to, let's say 25, right? And I paid 35. How much money did you just make?
10.
Exactly. So you understand how this works now?
Yeah.
And then all you're going to do is sign an agreement to purchase that house. I'm going to help you get the money to close. Well, you're going to use my money to close on the house, but then I'm going to buy it from you this as soon as you close, I'm buying it 2 minutes later. Because we could assign that contract, but that's usually with off-market deals. I don't like to assign on-market deals with realtors. I like to close on them, pay a little bit of closing costs, get get them out of the way. It's clean on paper, and then sell it to whoever I'm going to sell it to at that time, or buy it from whoever I'm going to buy it from. So when you're dealing with a realtor, I like to do double closes. That's what those are called, a double close. A double close basically means you're going to bring money to the table from wherever you get it from. There's companies out there. I have a company that does transaction funding, right? I'm going to bring the money to the table. You're going to close the deal, and then you're going to sell it a minute later. When you're dealing with a seller, like a direct seller, a homeowner, a property owner, you can do what's called an assignment. And what that means is you sign a contract as a wholesaler to buy the property. And what that contract allows you to do is have what's called equitable interest in the house. So all of that equity, remember I told you got, if you get it for $20,000 and it's worth $120,000, you now have $100,000 in equity. Obviously, that's not all equity because you got money that has to go into the house, things like that. But you have an interest in purchasing that equity in the house now. Now, all you have to do is assign. It's called an assignment of contract, where you literally just sign another piece of paper and you say, I'm going to sell you this original contract. I'm going to use this assignment of contract to sell you this piece of this contract, which is my equity, but I want $15,000 for it. So you just literally selling a piece of paper. That's all you're doing. Now, just so you know, a lot of areas are starting, like Philadelphia cracked down on it. A lot of areas are starting to frown upon because they don't understand. You got the Board of Realtors fighting. They call the National Association of Realtors. They're fighting, saying that wholesalers are basically brokering without a license. It's not true, but you got areas cracking down on it. So double closing, the way I explained it to you before, is going to become more popular. You understand? So you want to get into a habit. You could assign some contracts here and there, but you definitely want to get into the habit of double closing.
So we can get used to it.
Because you could get used to doing it. I'm going to instruct you for a little while till you get comfortable on when to double close and when to assign, things like that. But we want to get into the habit because it is a growing issue right now in certain areas. Harrisburg, I haven't seen any issues. And in smaller towns like Lebanon and Reading and things like that. No. Philadelphia, definitely an issue. You need a license in Philadelphia to wholesale real estate now, which is cool, but we're not in Philly. So where you are, you can still do it. But I still want you to get into the habit because you never know what's going to happen. I want you to understand how to do both. So that way you stay in business. Now, everybody understand where we're going with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at a deal, I want you to make a minimum of $10,000 per deal or more, right? Don't shortchange yourself. But at the same time, I don't want you to turn down a deal if it's only 8. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I don't want you to turn down a deal if you're only going to make, $6,000 and you're just getting started. I want you to take the profit. I'm not saying you got to I won't be taking less than $2,500, but it's a lot of y'all. So, you got to make a profit. You understand? So try to make at least, $10,000. If you got to negotiate it a little bit just to make it happen, do it until you get the hang of doing it. Because once you got a big enough buyer pool, then you're not going to be negotiating anything. Your buyers are going to be fighting over your deals if they're good deals. So when they fight over the deals, guess what happens with the price? The price goes up. Yesterday's price is not today's price. All right. So So look, let's talk about financial distress. Now, Zaidi contacted me yesterday, and he had a question about tax liens, tax certificates, tax deeds, things like that. That's another form of distress. Why is that a form of distress? Who could tell me? What type of distress is it? So a property that needed work is a physical distress. If you had a tax problem on a property, what type of distress would that be?
Financial.
That's a financial distress, right? Now you could get those direct from seller before they actually, before it turns into a problem for them, foreclosed, or you can find those down at the courthouse, right? Or you can buy those lists. You can buy them at the courthouse. There's a lot of different ways of doing it, right? You can get those at discounts. The good thing about those types of deals, investors know about them, but they take a little bit of work. Think about this, the harder it is to find a deal, the less competition you're going to have. Why is that the case? Who can explain that to me? The harder it is to find a deal, the less competition you're going to have.
Not everybody's looking for that kind of deal. It's less competition. Everybody's looking as hard as we are.
Exactly. People want the easy work. They want the easy. So the more time you have to put in to find a deal, the more chances you have of making, number one, getting that deal at a larger discount, and number two, making a whole lot more money on those deals. Because when you got people, when it decreases your buyer pool, not that many people is willing to put in the work when they could just go for they're looking for the low hanging fruit, right? They're looking to just lift up their arm and grab whatever's hanging from the tree. If you got to get on a ladder, climb up the ladder, search through the bushes, through the leaves, through the trees or whatever to find the fruit, most people are not going to want to do that. They want the easy money, right? But really the money is made when you dig a little deeper, because those are the ones that people are not willing to go after. So when you go after those, your profit margin gets a lot bigger, right? And guess what? The deeper you dig, the less competition you're going to have. So with that being said, tax lien certificates, people are aware, they're privy to tax lien certificates, but most people are not really going after those deals. So that is a great financially distressed lead source. There's a ton of them out there, but tax liens, tax deeds, you can get those things by literally just paying for the taxes that's backed up on the property. So let's say someone has a house that's paid for, but they owe $7,000 in taxes, and the house is in great shape. If you had $7,000 right now, you could go and buy that house. It could be 120. Let's say this house right here, right, the one that needs work. Says $120,000 house. Let's say it didn't need any work, but they were backed up, $10,000 in taxes that they couldn't come up with. Guess what? You could go and buy that house for whatever is owed on the taxes, and now you have $120,000 house with $10,000.
So do you think it would be smart to eventually maybe consider doing that once?
Yeah, you should be looking at all of this stuff, man. Look, there's plenty of different lead sources. There's a lot of different rabbit holes you could climb through, but you need to, let's get our feet wet. Definitely start looking into it for now. I could teach you that stuff. That's easy. But I'm just giving you, look, like I said, you could go physically distressed and financially distressed. Either way, we're going to make a deal, and we're doing both. We ain't no one trick ponies around here. All right. We do everything. So with that being said, if you want to make 10 to 15 grand on this house, get that contractor's estimate. I'm going to buy that as a 2-unit. I might fix it up and rent it, or I might fix it up and sell it. I don't know. It's kind of far away from me. 6 hours is that's a ride, but it might be worth it. You know what I mean? I want to see y'all make some money. That's why I'm willing to buy that from you. So if you want to make 10 grand, 15 grand on this real quick, maybe 20, who knows? Let's get a contractor's estimate within the next couple of days, and I'll buy it within 30 days. And then what I'll do is I'll put y'all in charge of the rehab. So now you can see firsthand, you know how to wholesale, right? Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna show you the next level to it, which is rehabbing. So this is what you could do once you start wholesaling. You can start rehabbing once you build up your bank account a little bit. And then I'll take you through the rehab process. Y'all already know what a nice house looks like, what nice work looks like. Now we just got to get it. And then I'll fly out there probably once a month based off of the time frame. I think it could get done in 8 weeks. But just to point stuff out to you and like, look, this needs to be done. That needs to be done. Here's how you handle the contractors, yada, yada, yada. All right. Okay. So now you'll learn 2 aspects of the business. So then when you're ready to start rehabbing, now you have that. All right. So let's just make a project, man. Let's make some money from this. And I think we could get it. Honestly, I think we can get it for like 25 grand. But let's get this contractor's estimate over the next couple of days.
All right, before Wednesday.
That's the assignment right now. And who's in charge of finding more leads?
Ishmael.
That's Ish's job, but like, are we all still doing it right now?
Yeah,
I want everybody to be a part of it. I want everybody to know every aspect of the business, right? Okay. And then once you know every aspect of the business, while you're learning, then you can branch out and say, okay, now this is what you want to take over. That's what you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that way, if y'all ever decided to branch out,
we still know how to do everybody else's job.
You understand?
Okay. Yeah.
This partnership might last 20 years. It might last 2, but I still want everybody to be equipped to run your own thing. Because guess what happens? And I'm not putting this in your head, but I'm just being honest with you. Guess what happens when everybody do their own thing? What happens with your profits?
It rises.
It goes up. So it makes sense. Y'all should be working together to get started. I'm just keeping it real with you. Y'all should be working together to get started, but with the idea of, let's make $1 million together, and then let's go do our own thing. Mm-hmm. Now we can start our own businesses. Now you might have a deal, Zadik, that you could sell to Esau, and then you might have a deal, Ishmael, you might sell to Raven. And then now y'all got your own little network going on. Like, look, I got this deal. I don't want to hold it, but if you want to buy it, I'll sell it to you. Just pay me 10 grand. You understand what I'm saying? So now you create your own little network, and now you're a force to be reckoned with, man. Because when you're gonna dominate, you're gonna dominate the market, and then you're gonna multiply by expanding out and doing your own thing. And now you have your own network that you don't have to step outside of. And people who want to step into your network at that point, they gotta pay.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yep.
That's how you become a force to be reckoned with, man. It took me 20 years. It didn't take me 20 years, but it took me some time to be able to do it on my own. Y'all got a team. So take advantage of that. All right. So look, get that contract, get them contractors out there.
Okay.
All right. 3 of them, get 3 estimates. Let's see what's going on. You said you got some friends that's contractors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Reach out to them. Let them know what you're trying to do. You want new everything. If the plumbing needs work, let's look at the plumbing. Did y'all see any water damage?
Yeah.
Did y'all see any I'm assuming it needs copper, it needs everything.
Yeah.
I feel like you was gonna fall through the floor.
There are holes in the floor.
Yeah, there's some holes.
And then the top.
There was like holes in every floor.
Like you can look down from the top floor to the first floor.
Oh no.
In the basement.
Just to the basement.
And to look up into the kitchen.
Yeah, so we definitely. That's not really a big problem, but when people see that, because really all that is a plywood issue. Throw down some ply and fix the foundation. Fix any. Did y'all see any evidence of the beams that's in the basement? Did y'all go down to the basement? Everybody had a mask on. Did it smell like mold?
Yeah, but there was mold though.
There was mold though. I didn't smell it.
That's that the prices went down. Yesterday's price is not today's price. It's gonna cost $15,000 just to remove the mold.
Ooh. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why the house is not selling. So I'm just telling you, look at all these issues. You understand?
Yeah.
So we might have to knock the house down and rebuild. But let's just get a contractor's estimate. Let's see. All right. And then we'll take it from there. But
sir.
Now you know. These are the houses that you're looking for. If they don't have to be that extreme. That house is a little extreme, it sounds. But if the house needs cosmetic updates, if it's structurally sound, but it needs cosmetic updates, well, we could put $10,000 or $15,000 into the house. You know what I mean? Like it's livable, but if I just upgraded the kitchen, upgraded the bathrooms, put some fresh paint, maybe it needs a new roof, right?
Yeah.
I just did one. I put $30,000 into this rehab. Later on this week, I'm gonna walk through the rehab and I'm gonna FaceTime y'all. Who got FaceTime?
We all do.
Everybody. We all do. So we could do a FaceTime, maybe even a Zoom. I walk through the rehab so you could. I'll tell you exactly what I did to the house. So you can just see. You know what I mean? Okay. We'll figure that part out. But for now, get the contractor's estimate and let's make an offer once we get that. All right. Any questions?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nope. All good.
All right. Cool. I appreciate y'all, man, and I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.